Thanks, Chris. So my name is Artem Korenyuk. I lead Citi's enterprise digital assets team, which sits across all of Citi's businesses, including both institutional and consumer. We're responsible for the broader enterprise-wide direction around digital assets. We drive business development across business opportunities, and we also spend quite a bit of time working with our clients and with regulators and policymakers on digital asset initiatives as well.
What initiatives are you currently pursuing, or what kind of advantages are you looking to capture or gaps in the market perhaps you're looking to address with digital assets?
So from a city perspective, we have a broader enterprise-wide digital asset strategy with, opportunities and initiatives across a variety of different areas. We're obviously focused on the security side, on the payment side, across the board, obviously with the emergence of crypto as a new asset class and providing general exposure to customers in that model. The few I'd call out, one is, of course, we are live with Citi Token Services, which enables 24/7 mobility of cash across a variety of Citi branches for US dollars. That's been in the market for over a year, has been getting really good traction and continues to grow. We've also done quite a number of various digital debt issuances, enabling the digitization of medium-term notes and other instruments with a variety of different institutions, including supranational issuers, working closely with Euroclear for that.
Okay, yeah, I'm sure there's quite a lot for us to dig into there, but just to kind of pick a few kind of overarching themes to start with, how do you evaluate which opportunities to pursue? Because there's obviously so many things. How do you prioritize? Is it immediate revenue? Is it strategic benefits or something else?
Yeah, no, it's quite broad. It's never, just a single dimension. It's always multidimensional. Some of it is quantitative, some of it is certainly qualitative as well. I'd say we look at digital assets through a couple of different lenses. One is around using blockchain technology as a way to enable or upgrade various rails, whether it's industry rails or even capabilities that Citi uses to process transactions more broadly. And certainly areas of leveraging blockchain for tokenizing money and enabling 24/7 liquidity is an example of that. So that's one category. The other one, of course, is looking at digital assets as a new asset class, particularly with the formation of cryptocurrencies. And as the regulatory environment matures, Citi would certainly be looking at that space to understand how to properly service that ecosystem. So that's certainly another area, and there's a suite of opportunities and initiatives looking at identifying ways to provide exposure to that asset class in obviously a regulatorily compliant way and something that meets client needs. And then, of course, more broadly, Citi is first and foremost a network bank, right? We're in 200 different countries. Our payments business operates across 90 plus markets. Our custody business is a direct custodian in 60 plus markets, right? So as we look at new blockchain based ecosystems, as we look at new networks pop up that happen to be blockchain based, for us, it's another core part of our strategy to say we need to be where our customers need us to be. And these almost are new networks to some extent that pop up like operating like new markets. We know we need to be connected where our clients need us to be.
What has been some of the biggest operational or cultural challenges when you're trying to embed digital assets in the existing banking or investment workflows?
Yeah, I'd say some of those things are not specific to digital assets. They're just specific to innovation. They're just specific to driving new solutions into the market. Overall, I would say that we have been we've been working on digital assets for quite a while, right? This is not a new endeavor for us. We've been doing this for a number of years, and we've been very focused on standing up a dedicated governance model, especially in the earlier days of digital assets, introduction into capital markets, to make sure that we are hiring the right people, we are operating in a risk managed way, safely and soundly, and most importantly, in accordance with all of the regulatory environments. So it was very key for an organization as large as Citi to make sure that we had broad oversight and control over how each of our various businesses operate in this space. So we've stood up a dedicated governance program, which was very integrated and tightly coupled with the way we evaluate opportunities agnostic of digital assets or crypto. But we also were very adamant about hiring talent with very specific domain expertise that could augment our teams from a risk perspective. We've done the same from a business perspective as well. We wanted to make sure that as we pursue new opportunities in the digital asset space, we were bringing in practitioners with the actual experience and track record of delivering digital asset solutions. At the same time, we knew that we needed to augment those teams with people that understood our clients, that understood our businesses, and had a track record of building scalable solutions that our customers could use. This could not be a startup MVP type solution that operates on a phone but doesn't scale in any way, shape, or form. So that was key. And then the same thing from a technology perspective. We needed the domain expertise who understood blockchain technology, who understood smart contracts, privacy and security, all of the core features that are essential, but at the same time, couple them with people that have built institutional grade infrastructure at scale, which is what Citi is certainly known for. So it's been this combination of things that we've been doing to augment not just the talent, but also the culture and the governance processes across the org.
One of the more interesting initiatives that I read about is called CIDAP. Would you mind elaborating a little bit more? What is that? What are you trying to achieve? And what does it stand for?
Yeah. Um, it stands for Citi Integrated Digital Asset Platform. It is one of the core parts of our strategy and ultimately is the underpinning aspect of it. So a lot of the things that we're doing from a digital asset perspective is powered by CDAP. It is a foundational enterprise-wide digital asset platform for all Citi's digital asset initiatives. It has all of the foundational capabilities necessary for any of our businesses to work with their respective clients to bring new solutions to market. It ensures that as an organization, we are building capabilities that are reusable across the board, that also allow our customers to come and interact with digital assets directly without necessarily fragmenting their experience. And what I mean by that is, in the future, we see a model where digital assets will simply be just another either representation of traditional assets like money or securities or commodities, or a formation of a new asset class like cryptocurrencies. And in certain cases, it's just the technology. And we want to make sure that customers have the ability to access or benefit from this without having to adopt a new infrastructure, without having to adopt a new interface. So a core part of CDAP is being integrated into existing systems and user interfaces so that customers can interact with digital assets without impacting the way they interact with Citi and our products and services today.
To kind of bring that to life, can you give us an example of a commercial opportunity that could unlock for, let's say, your institutional clients?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll say CDAP is really the infrastructure and the middleware underpinning any of our use cases. One that I mentioned earlier, Citi Token Services, leverages CDAP for its tokenization, orchestration, and blockchain capabilities. So what the client gets is 24/7 mobility of funds across their various branches. They can interface with Citi Token Services exactly as they would with traditional payment rails within Citi. Behind the scenes, underneath it, the back end is powered by CDAP that allows this to actually occur. As other businesses look to interact or roll out digital asset products or services, those same capabilities could be repurposed for those use cases as well. So it's really the backbone behind everything that we're doing, the backbone behind everything that our businesses may want to offer to our clients. It is the backbone for anything where our clients want to co-ideate and co-innovate with us on industry solutions. Now, I mentioned in my examples specifically where these are products or services that Citi can build on top of. But at the same time, it also is the connectivity and integration ecosystem that allows Citi and our clients to connect to a variety of different blockchains externally.
So, in what ways can a unified digital asset platform change the economics of capital markets, maybe beyond efficiency gains? Why do we need this?
Yeah. Well, it varies for every different business in their own decisions. But generally, I would say blockchain technology is more than just about efficiency gains, right? It is an opportunity to modernize how we do things. It's also an opportunity to add more value or unlock more value that previously has been trapped through, legacy infrastructure, legacy technology, and legacy systems. Now, the CDAP platform specifically is our business and technology decision to implement it in a certain way across our organization to make sure that Citi is operating consistently across the enterprise, moving quickly and is developing the necessary standards for each of our businesses to have the same capabilities instead of forcing each business to figure out their own solution and implementation, especially from a technology perspective. Now, the revenue opportunities that are unlocked are very much business driven.
And you were saying earlier that some of the challenges are not too dissimilar from any other innovation challenge. But when it comes to this specific area, are there any challenges that are particular for scaling CDAP?
Yeah. Well, anytime you introduce new technology, um, there is a general risk around new infrastructure. It needs to be proven, it needs to be scalable across the board. So that's certainly the case with blockchain technology overall. Now, again, the good news is that blockchain technology has been around for a while now. Citi's been involved in building capabilities, talent, practices, and controls around this space for a while as well. Um, so that's certainly an important factor. The other one, of course, that's maybe a little bit more unique to this is around privacy and security. Obviously, especially as we start to look at digital assets on public blockchains as an industry as a whole, that certainly does start to introduce new risks, given that some of these digital assets, like cryptocurrencies, are essentially bearer assets. So as you know, there's always a potential for loss or theft around these assets, and because they're bearer and because they're on public blockchains, they may be irreversible in that sense. So those are things that everyone in the industry generally needs to be very mindful of. Now, Citi is obviously focused right now on the tokenized security space, which has ways to mitigate that as well.
And where do you see the highest value use cases right now for adopting this platform? And which kind of clients do you think will be the most likely to adopt it first?
Yeah, well, first of all, I'll say it's already adopted. City Token Services is live and has been live for over a year, almost 2 years now. We have many clients on it. We are now in the process of rolling this out to additional branches and additional currencies. So that the money side, the tokenized money story is certainly very relevant, and it applies to a variety of customers, including corporates and treasurers. It certainly applies to asset managers and other institutions. Basically, the broader City network. The other one, of course, is around the tokenization of securities more broadly. Um, Blockchain technology has the potential to accelerate settlement. It has the potential to enable programmability, which drives even a further automation of the securities trade lifecycle, right? And the network effects of blockchain technology overall, given that all of these different assets can be built on the same technology stack, on the same network, on the same ecosystem, is what actually unlocks a much better interoperability of cash and securities. We typically in the industry refer to that as DVP. So you can actually do more efficient delivery versus payment. It could be payment versus payment. It can be delivery versus delivery, right? So a variety of different models that are much more programmable and composable, all on the same infrastructure. And that, of course, also scales to a variety of different asset classes. banks, asset managers, hedge funds, corporates, right? Everybody who generally participates in capital markets. Now, of course, as the regulatory environment evolves and as there is more regulatory clarity around cryptocurrencies, cryptocurrencies would ultimately be forming as a new asset class, and anyone that wants to invest in that would certainly play a role there as well.
And you touched on interoperability there. So what are you doing to allow Citi tokens to be leveraged outside, your business effectively? Is that a plan, and how do you envisage that working?
Yeah, interoperability has been a topic that has been discussed in the industry for a long time, almost as long as blockchain's been around in the financial services space. I would say there's a couple of areas of interoperability that are important and important to differentiate. There's, of course, the technical interoperability, making sure that different systems can speak to each other and connect with each other. There's, of course, legal interoperability to make sure that contractually there's enough relationships across the different parties to actually transact. And then there's more like risk and business interoperability as well. Now, interoperability inherently means interoperating across various parties, across various entities, right? The Citi network in general, right, is quite large in the sense that we are, as I mentioned, just on the payment side, we are in 90 plus different markets. We connect to 200 plus global clearing systems. We have thousands of clients that are moving something to the extent of $5 trillion every single day. That network across the various branches required interoperability across technology, legal, operational, business, all of these things. Similar concepts certainly need to happen uh, for broader interoperability across. One of the things, or a couple of the initiatives that Citi's been involved in, and we've actually been quite forward in trying to drive the industry conversation around interoperability by participating in initiatives such as the Regulated Liability Network or the Regulated Settlement Network, which really brought the public and the private sector together across a variety of different institutions to try to find an industry solution for regulated liabilities, tokenized deposits, central bank money, and e-money to all play in the same network and ecosystem with interoperability.